Hi everybody, Jacob here from Children's Museum Houston. I am in the Invention Convention exhibit sponsored by David and Jean Wiley Foundation, and I'm sitting here at one of my favorite components in this whole exhibit. It's called Lights and Music. And with this component today, I want to show you all a little bit about creating music and a little bit about coding and what the two things have in common. Are you ready? All right, so we're going to start out at our synthesizer station here. So this is our synthesizer, and basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be creating a melody. And so real quick, what a melody is just a sequence of notes. And you're going to see that we have our sequence section right here. So this grid, which has 8 buttons up and down and 8 buttons left and right for a total of 64 buttons, because 8 times 8 is 64. Is where we're going to program that sequence. So as you go up and down these buttons, you'll see that the notes go up and down. So you hear them rising in pitch. They go do 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 do. And as you go left and right, it's each one of these is a beat. And you can see the light going left and right here. Wherever that light is, it's going to be playing whatever note is programmed in that column. So I can do something like this. And that is a sequence of notes, right? So I have my sequence. I have the 5th, then nothing, and then 5, 5, and then 6, 1, 6. So those are all different notes in the scale. And now that we have our sequence, we can actually keep this exact same sequence, but make it sound different by changing the variables. So some of the variables that we can change are the key signature. And you can see it still sounds basically the same, but in different notes that are being used for each kind of step in the sequence. See, the whole thing goes higher a little bit. And we have 8 different key signatures we can choose from, even though there are actually 12 key signatures, but we only have these 8. The other thing you can change is what type of scale you're using. So let's hear what happens if we make it a harmonic minor. You can see it sounds very similar, but something has changed about it. It has a different quality. And then we can also change it to minor, which is very similar to our harmonic minor, but you'll hear a slight difference. The other variables we can change are the instrumentation. So if I click this button, you can see it has a different sound, and if I move this little knob around, you get a nice little filter that makes it sound kind of like wow, wow. So those are all variables that you can use to change how the sequence sounds with this melody synthesizer part of the component. All right, so now we're going to move on to our drum machine station at this component. And at this drum machine station, we're going to program some beats. All right, so you can kind of tell that the drum machine part of this is very similar to the synthesizer part. You have your sequence here, and this time each row is a different drum sound, so you can hear them all. And again, each column is going to be a different beat, and you can follow the lights just like we did before. So I'm going to program a sequence here. There we go, that sounds pretty cool. All right, and so once you have your sequence, you also have some variables that you can work with, just like we had before. So the first one, this knob, you'll hear it change right away. It changes what kind of a drum kit you're using. So it changes what each one of these sounds is. So this is your drum kit variable. The other variable is, I think, my favorite of the variables we can mess around with here, and it's called tempo. And what tempo is it tells you how many beats per minute. So how many times does it change this light in a single minute? Right now it's at 80 beats per minute. If we turn it down, it's gonna be way slower. But if we turn it up, we can make a much faster beat. We can get it really, really slow, or really, really fast. And you can mess around with the variables and get different beats. You can change your sequence even. And that is coding a drum beat with the drum machine. So that is my favorite thing about this component, is that you get to program sequences of musical notes and drum beats and then change variables that make them sound different. So you're learning a lot about coding as well as making your own original song. And that is why we call it coding music at the Lights and Music component here in Invention Convention, sponsored by David and Jean Wiley Foundation in the Children's Museum, Houston. Again, my name is Jacob, and I'll see you all next time.